Thank you, Mr. President. If the clerk might call calendar 294, Senate Bill 677 on page 15.
Mr. Clerk.
Turning to the calendar page 15, calendar number 294, file number 455, substitute for Senate Bill 677, an act concerning the use of state mobile computing and storage devices. Favorable report of the Committee on Government Administration and Elections, Energy and Technology, and Planning and Development.
Senator Schlossberg.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I move acceptance of the Joint Committee's favorable report and passage of the bill.
Acting on approval of the bill, ma'am, would you like to remark further?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. The clerk has in his possession LCO number 6513. I ask that it be called, and I seek leave to summarize.
Mr. Clerk.
LCO 6513, which will be designated Senate Amendment Schedule A. It's offered by Senator Schlossberg of the 14th District et al.
Senator Schlossberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move adoption.
Please proceed, ma'am.
Very simply, as the hour is late, this bill provides town-specific government access television programming to towns in Area 2 of the Cable Advisory Council. The very long story I'm not going to get into right now, but basically is that the towns in this district, there are 6 towns, have been denied the ability to have town-specific programming on their public access television. What this will do is allow them to work with the current nonprofit third-party community access provider to develop town-specific programming and provide them with an opportunity to do so. It will also ensure that funding that was supposed to be going to them does actually go to them to help them in developing that town-specific programming. I'd ask for the support of the Chamber.
Thank you, Senator Schlossberg. Will you remark further? Senator DiPasala.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I rise in opposition to the amendment. I think the intention behind this is good, but as so often happens, we're passing legislation whereas something's happening outside of this chamber that could solve the problem. Right now, this legislation is narrowly tailored to apply to only a few situations, one of which is happening in the greater Bridgeport region, where 6 such towns, as Senator Schlossberg mentioned, are trying to get some local access programming. And the issue of why I oppose this is twofold. One is that the person and the company who control the current license are in negotiations with the towns to actually give them that right to have local access programming. And I believe we should allow those negotiations to continue. But second, Mr. President, is more of a philosophical point, is that we are essentially, by passing this, overruling the DPUC in their decision to actually give out a license. And so if we believe it is good practice for us to second-guess the DPUC, for us to be going in and to changing licenses that they've determined should be given out, then you should vote for this bill or this amendment. I do not believe that's appropriate, Mr. President, so I will be opposing this amendment. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator DiPasala. Senator Friedman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I stand in support of the amendment. As you know, Cablevision has two districts in our part of the state. Our part is the beneficiary of each town having their own providers for the PEG channels, and it does make a big difference. The Bridgeport system is entirely different, particularly with the third-party provider, and the people that live in that part of the district don't have their own access, so this amendment will cure that ill and I think make it much better for the people who live in the towns of that part of the Cablevision area. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Friedman. Will you mark further on Senate Amendment A? Will you mark further? If not, let me try your minds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay? The ayes have it. We mark further on Senate Bill 677. We mark further on Senate Bill 677. If not, Mr. Clerk, please call for a roll call vote. The machine will be open.
Immediate roll call has been ordered in the Senate. Will all senators please return to the chamber? Immediate roll call has been ordered in the Senate. Will all senators please return to the chamber?
all senators voted? If all senators have voted, the machine will be locked. The clerk will call the tally.
Motion on passage Senate Bill 677 as amended. Total number voting 36. Those voting yea, 28. Those voting nay, 8. Those absent not voting 0.
The bill as amended passes. Mr. Senator Looney.
Yes, and Mr. President, on the prior bill immediately voted upon, would move that that item be immediately transmitted to the House of Representatives.
Seeing no objection, so ordered, sir.
Good. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you very much. Would the clerk please call calendar number 563.
Calendar 563, Senate Bill number 677, an act concerning the use of state mobile computing and storage devices. Favorable report of the Committee on Planning and Development.
Representative Caruso.
Mr. Speaker, I move for acceptance of the Joint Committee's favorable report and passage of the bill in concurrence with the Senate.
Seven joint report. Passes bill. Remarks, sir.
Yes, I move adoption, Mr. Speaker.
Senate adoption is your objection. Hearing none, sir, you may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, the clerk has in his possession Senate Amendment A, LCO number 6513. I ask that he read and I be allowed to summarize.
Please call LCO number 6513, which was previously designated Senate Amendment Schedule A.
LCO number 6513, Senate A, offered by Senator Schlossberg, Representative Claridis et al.
You summarize. Is there objection? You may summarize, sir.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. The amendment provides access to the towns of Bridgeport, Fairfield, Milford, Orange, Stratford, and Woodbridge for their nonprofit community access. I move adoption.
Adoption will your mark. Question does your mark. If not, let me try your minds all fair. Please signal by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. It is adopted. Carry my friend, the bill is amended. Representative Heatherton.
Thank you. A question through you, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any question, sir? Representative, please prepare. You may proceed, sir.
What was the basis of... okay. Actually, I think it's self-evident. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I withdraw it.
I thank you, sir. Appreciate that, sir. Carry my further on the amendment on the bill is amended. Carry my further. If not, staff guests come to the Well House. Members take a seat. Machine be open.
The House of Representatives is voting by roll call. Members to the chamber. The House is voting by roll call. Members to the chamber.
All the members voted. Do not run, please. Do not run. Do not run. I want no injuries on my watch. Have all the members voted? All the members have voted, please. No running, please. Please check the board, make sure your votes have been properly cast. All the members voted. The machine will be locked. And the clerk will take a tally. The clerk, please announce tally.
Senate Bill number 677 as amended by Senate Amendment Schedule A in concurrence with the Senate. Total number voting 147, necessary for passage 74. Those voting yea, 47. Those voting 0.
Bill passed as amended.